everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to work with my 2019 holiday card template. This card template is a very simple US A2 sized file that is 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall. And I designed it this year to create a very simple way to have a holiday card. Plus, the file also includes a newsletter for the back side of the card. And I'll have information at the end of this video on how to get it printed for a really great price, because this for me is just a great budget-friendly way to create a custom card myself and not spend a ton of money on something that I think, if we're being honest, not everybody holds on to your holiday cards, right? So a little cost savings is a good thing. And today I've got two ways to work with this file. The first is by using a free online photo editor called Photopea. This program is new to me, and if you don't have Photoshop, I'm going to show you how to use a layered template and to do so in a way that is free and relatively easy. I'm also going to show you how to do this in Photoshop Elements. See the information below the video for the timestamp so you can jump ahead to just the Photoshop instruction if that's what you're looking for. All right, let's begin. When you go to photopea.com, your screen will look like this, and I'm going to go ahead and just X out of here. Now, there are ads that show up here, and if you close them, they're just going to keep popping up, and I suppose that is how they are able to have something free like this. So here's what you're going to do. You go to the File menu and go, it's Control Open. So I'm just going to use these actual menu commands because I'm not as familiar with the commands as I am in Photoshop, although they are similar. You're going to hit Open, and I'm going to go to my YouTube files here into the holiday card, and I'm going to click here on my holiday card template and just show you what comes in the package when you purchase it. The actual file itself is two parts. There is a front, and it looks like this, and the green color is really just in there as a placeholder. You can keep it or you can leave it. And then also there is a reverse side of the newsletter. And this is something you can go in and customize and update. There are only 4 people in my family, so I set up 4 little text blocks. But if you have a larger family, you can just turn this into a very simple newsletter format. Keep it simple. People don't have a lot of time to read, right? So you're just going to give them the facts. There is also a I call it 4 template on 8 1/2 by 11. And this you can have just to print at home on your home printer, cut them down, and you're ready to pop them into your cards. So there is also a how-to with some details, and we'll just get started. I'm going to open up the file and click Open. Now when this comes in, you will see that what I have, it actually loaded the font that comes with the template. Now, a couple things. Season's Greetings is not editable, meaning you cannot type over it. It is just a graphic, and it is there as a graphic. You can change its color, but you cannot type over it. But what we're going to do here is we're going to bring in our photo. Now off to the side are layers, and I don't want to get too technical about layers and how they work, but where it says photo here, we are going to click photo here. And I'm going to open a photo for the purpose of this tutorial. I don't have my holiday photo yet for this year. Hopefully that will happen on Thanksgiving. So I'm going to come in here and bring a shot that I used a couple years back, my son and my daughter. And what you will do is just click on the photo with the pointer tool, and when you drag up to the other tab that says Holiday Card USA 2 and drag down, it will release it and copy it right into this template. Now, part of the reason why I wanted to have photo here selected first was so that that photo would copy directly above in the layers palette, which is important for order. Has to be above the intended layer mask. Now, I'm going to go to Layer, Clipping Mask, right there, and Release. And what it does is it puts that photo contained right in that layer mask. And that's the magic of Photoshop, but this is done right here in Photopea. Now, if I want this to be a little smaller in the actual mask, up here there is a transform controls, and I'll also do auto select while I'm at it. And I'm going to reduce the size of my view here by going Control Dash. And you can see the bounding box of the actual photo, because the photo is much larger than the template. I'm going to hold down my Shift key. I'm going to bring it in a little bit on the corner handle. Now let's say that's the perfect crop. And I'll double click. I'll get the Move tool. Let's see here. I'm not completely sure why it's not letting me click away. Let's click. There we go. We'll click to another. Oh, all right. Now I'm going to go to the text box that says "With Love," the Kringle family, and I'm going to zoom in a little here. Let's go Control Plus, I'm guessing. Yes. I'll go ahead and get my text tool. Now here's where you could change your font. I'm going to say the Zielske family. You would highlight here, just like you would in a Word doc, and you could come right up to the type menu, and it will show you on your computer, at least it does on mine, how many fonts you have available at your disposal. And maybe, I don't know, do I have something in here? I'm just going to change it for the sake of changing it. Let's pick this lovely font called Louis Serif. And when I click, you will see I have changed the font, just like that. Now, if you like the green in the template, great. If you don't like the green, you can change the color as well. But what you want to do is go to the layer called To Fill, Adjust, or To Fill. I don't know why that says to there. It's supposed to say tree. There you go. My template's a little messed up, but you want to change the color of the fill. Now, I've designed this specifically with an offset look, both around the frame here as well as the trees, because I just think that's kind of cute. But let's say you don't like this color. Well, we can change it. It's just a little trickier in Photopea. I can do this much faster in Photoshop. Now, the opacity on this is presently set to 70%, and the tree 1 fill is set to 40%. That is something you can play and get different looks. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the color with an adjustment layer. And for me, this is a whole new territory, but I'm going to come down here, oh, not that, come down to the bottom of my screen and click on New Adjustment Layer. Click on it, and I'm going to go to Color Fill. Now it's giving me this crazy red. I don't want this red, so I think if I double click here, oh yes. I'm gonna get a little box here, and if I click on it, I can choose a different color. And I want to pick sort of a, well, I'm gonna come in here a little. I like a blue like that. Okay? You can move your mouse around, drag it around, and get a color that you like, and I'm gonna click OK. Now, what I need to do though is I need to apply this to that layer below. I'm going to do so by clipping mask, because when I do, it will clip that color into the object below, and then when I go back to my adjustment layer or my fill layer, I can play with the opacity. So I could go all the way down to 25%, and when I do, see how much lighter that gets? You can play with these things until you get something that you like, but I'm going to go back up to 70 and just leave that for now. Now I would repeat the process for the second tree, right? I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click on New Adjustment Layer, go to Color Fill. It's still going to bring it up as red. I have no idea why. I'm going to click on this, but I'm going to, oh, see, now that should have stayed. All right, I'm gonna undo here. Let's go undo, undo. You can do the lovely command undo, but I don't know why that didn't stay blue. So let's click on, let's see if we can get an eyedropper. Okay, I'm gonna click in there. There we go. I needed to sample that color first. All right, we're going to try it again. Let's go to Tree, Fill, Adjust Opacity. Come back, Color Fill. Much better. Okay, then when I click here, I can come back over and get the same blue. See how that worked? I know, it's a little ticky-tack. You kind of have to work your way around, but I want this to be here. There we go, and click OK. And now, again, Layer, Clipping Mask, and now I've changed it to blue. So you can play around with it. It's in full Photoshop, as you'll see. Edit Fill Layer is so much faster than this, but here we go. And now we're ready to save the file. So I am going to go to Export as JPEG, because JPEG you can upload to most photo printers, and I am going to choose 100% quality. Okay, I want this to be full quality, full resolution. I'm going to hit save, and I am going to, oh, it's giving me an option to open it in Photoshop. We might as well do this. Let's just go save file for now, click OK. It has now saved it into my downloads, and that file is ready to use. This app, considering it's free, is actually pretty cool if you want to download a template. Most templates from my collection are layered PSD files, and this is how you could work with it. Pretty basic, and then we would send this to our favorite photo printer, or you could print this at home as well. Next, I'll show you how to do this in Photoshop. Here I am in Photoshop Elements 18. That's just the most recent version I have. And I am working in the expert mode so that I can access the key things that I need. All I'm going to do, I'm going to go Command or Control on a Mac, O to open. We'll just get this back open again, and I'll show you this much more quickly. All right, the file will open. Looks the same here. I'm going to click on Photo here. I'm going to open my photo that I'm using here. Where is the, oh, where did I put it? Let's see, holiday. Oh, no, it's not in there. This is what I love about my computer. It never remembers where I was the last time. Okay, holiday sample photo. Here we go. Now, same thing. You can click on this, drag it up, drag it down and release, and you will see that it has shown up. I'm going to zoom out a little, Command or Control Dash. I'm going to click on that photo. I can't, can I see the controls? Where are my little controls down here? Tool options. If you don't see your show bounding box, oh, I should be able to see it. And you know what? It's so subtly gray that I can barely see it. Let's see. There it is right there. All right, I'm just going to drag in. You don't have to hold down the Shift key here. And I'm going to position it where I think it looks good. Double click. Now to clip here, I'm going to hover my mouse between layer 1 and photo here. I'm going to hold down my Alt key on the PC or Option, and when I do, I'll get a little icon. It's either going to look like this in newer versions, or in earlier versions, it will be a double overlapping circle. Click. No, let's click. Come on now. There we go. And now you can see it is contained within the mask. And again, I could make this, I could make it a little bigger if I wanted. It's a different crop than what I was working on before. But I would do the same thing here. Click in with the Type tool and say the Zielske family. And I'm just going to leave the font for now because I think it's, well, if you wanted to, you would highlight it. Click on your tool options, which will either be below in newer versions of Photoshop Elements or above in older ones. Well, I'll change it. I'm going to change it to my favorite font that's actually on my computer. It's called Archer, and I want it to be, well, let's just go medium metallic. That looks cute. And check. Now, the tree filling is a little easier, I think, than it is in Photopea, just because I think I'm familiar with it, but I'm going to go to that to fill again. Going to come over to the color picker right over here. I'm going to click once to bring it up. Let's find a slightly, well, let's go with blues again. I'm going to come in here and, yeah, it's a little, let's go more right there. Going to drag around to get a color that I like. Click OK. Now with this fill selected, or with the tree fill layer selected, I just go Edit, Fill Layer, and I choose from the drop-down menu the foreground color, the color that I've just picked. And here's the beauty of this. Preserve transparency is just going to apply it to whatever pixels that Photoshop finds on the layer. So when I click OK, just like that. And then I can click down here on Tree Fill 1. Again, everything's set to go. Fill layer, repeat, just like that. And now I have my blue trees. And again, I can come in here. If I want that to be lighter, I'll adjust the opacity up here. Let's go 30%, and maybe I want this tree to be a little lighter. You can just play with those until it looks how you like it. And then once you have the file just the way you want it, oh yeah, I just noticed that. We don't need to have a big eye here. Thank you. Then again, you will save this file as a JPEG, File, save as. The beautiful thing here is I can actually control where this goes out to my desktop, JPEG, save, and I'm gonna go max. I always just push it all the way. It doesn't take up that much space on your computer. Click OK, and on my desktop, when I go to open that, I'll just show you what it looks like. Holiday USA 2. See, it's not a very large file. It's 700, not even a full meg. When you open it up, now you'll see it is a single layer, and that is ready to be sent to your online printer. So, 2 ways to work with this template file. One is free and one is Photoshop Elements. Next, I'll show you a few more things about working with this design. Now I've got a few samples here to show you. Here is a card. Now I just printed this on some photo paper at home, but you can kind of see the idea, and I will show you last year's card. Now this card I did have printed at Overnight Prints, really affordable, and I will have links. And I'll also link to this template if you like the look of this, because I decided to do 4 little photos and our newsletter printed right on the back of sort of a postcard weight. But this year, I still might get this printed. I don't know if I'm going to do the back side because I can also do this. I can take the newsletter, right? There's a template in the package that has 4 slots to have the same thing, and then you would just print that and print it out at home on some copy paper, and then put it in your paper trimmer and quickly trim out 4 at one go. This is a really cost-effective way to add a little tiny newsletter, insert it, even if you're doing handmade holiday cards and you don't you have no intention of using my template. This template itself, just for a little newsletter insert, would be really fun to include. And again, really cost-effective. So there's that. Really like it. But the other fun thing, I like to decorate my envelopes, and this digital card design matches my Clean Line Christmas stamp set available from Simon Says Stamp. And every year I really do like to festoon, if you will, the outside of my envelope. I just think it's really cute when you have something that creates a visual link for what's on the outside to what's on the inside. So you can take your stamps, kind of get something set up, and if you use a stamp positioner tool like the MISTI, once you have it placed and you like the position, you can just leave it in there and stamp a bunch all at once. I'm using my embossing magic to remove the static off of my paper, and I'll just use some sticky embossing ink. This is from Gina K Designs, and it's just a clear sticky ink that will grab the powder that I'm going to be using, which is white. I like to use a Swiffer cloth just to easily slide and add pressure. Now you don't see it yet, but I'm taking my favorite white powder. This is from Brutus Monroe. It's the Alabaster color. And when I sprinkle it on, and I like to sprinkle a couple times just to get a nice coating, and I tap it off, there is my powder. And I'll just funnel this powder right back in. Nothing fancy. A piece of folded paper will work, and the Swiffer comes back in to clean up my workspace. Then I'll get my heat tool nice and hot, and once it's warmed up for about 30 seconds, I'll bring it to the envelope and quickly melt the powder. So it's just a fun way to have a visual link to this design. And I'm a fan of the stamp set because, yes, I did design it, but I think that's really cute. And I'm going to be using green. I'm not going to change the color of my trees. I really like the look of this, and I have a good stash of these green envelopes as well. So that is a look at what I'm sending out with, of course, a new picture for 2019. Thanks so much for watching, and again, I will have all the links below for the template and the stamp set, as well as a blog post if you want any more information about this project. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.